Congratulations on getting through to the Officer and Aircrew Selection Centre selection process. This presentation has been provided to give you an idea of what to expect and how best to prepare. The scope of this presentation will start with an introduction before we then go into discussing the interview, followed by the exercise phase, before we summarise at the end. Introduction. Our mission within recruiting and selection is to recruit the high quality people needed to sustain RAF operational capability today and into the future. On your arrival at Adastral Hall, you'll be placed into syndicates before we commence the selection process day. The day starts with an interview, followed by an exercise phase, which will be described later in this presentation. The interview. The first aspect of the selection process is the interview. The interview is split up into two parts and is conducted by two boarding officers and lasts around about 25 minutes. Part 1 of the interview focuses on your abilities and achievements, whereas Part 2 focuses on your motivation, your training and role knowledge, and military and current affairs awareness. So let's look at the interview in a little bit more detail. Part 1 of the interview focuses on your abilities and achievements, so you need to make sure that you research yourself. Ask yourself questions like, what have you done in life? What are you doing now? What do you do with your spare time? And what, if any, adventurous or challenging activities have you taken part in throughout your life? Part 2 of the interview is where we're going to spend most of our time during the interview, and here we will examine your motivation, your training and role knowledge, and your military and current affairs awareness. So let's break that down a little bit. So motivation, we're going to ask you questions like, why do you want to join the Royal Air Force and not the Army and the Navy? Why do you want to be an officer or a senior non-commissioned officer? Why do you want to hold that rank? What does it mean to hold a commission? How might your lifestyle change compared to your life at the moment? And what challenges might you face, either in the rank or doing the role that you're applying for? Next, we go on to your training knowledge, and we will ask in depth what you understand about your Phase 1 and Phase 2 training pipelines. We will also ask you what opportunities the Royal Air Force presents for personal and professional development. Continuing with Part 2 of the interview, we will next examine your knowledge of the role for which you have applied. And we will ask questions like, what will your day-to-day duties look like? What additional duties would you be expected to perform? How might you specialise within your chosen role in the future? What are your main responsibilities within your chosen role, and how are they relevant to our military operations? Next, we go on to your overall awareness of military and current affairs topics. So we'll examine your awareness of air power, the roles of the Royal Air Force, and NATO. We'll also then assess your awareness of what's going on in the world, both for the UK and overseas. The exercise phase. The exercise phase is conducted by two different boarding officers to those that you had at interview. You will also see a third boarding officer, the board president, from time to time. The second part of the selection process is the exercise phase, which is divided into 4 individual exercises, 2 of which are in the classroom and 2 are in our exercise hangar. The first exercise is the discussion, where you'll be given a range of random topics to discuss as a syndicate. Next, we go into the planning exercise, where you'll be presented with a fictional scenario, which you will find yourselves in as a team. And the aim is to produce an agreed comprehensive team plan to deal with that situation. We then move into the exercise hangar, where we'll conduct the leaderless exercise. You'll be presented with a dynamic problem to deal with as a team. We conclude then with a command situation exercise, where you will each take it in turn to lead a dynamic problem. So in terms of how to succeed in the exercise phase, the board will be observing and assessing your ability to communicate, interact with others, and your determination to complete tasks to the best of your ability. Boarding officers can only assess what they see and what they hear, so make sure that you get involved and participate fully. All of the tasks presented that require problem solving are achievable in the time allowed, so don't give up and keep aiming for that perfect solution. To summarise. So to conclude, the OASC boarding process is challenging and demanding so that we can select high quality people. Therefore, you need to prepare thoroughly for the interview. Use the news, the RAF, the NATO websites to get information that you need. Consider using YouTube and Reddit feeds. You have your recruiter. They may be able to put you into touch with specialist recruiting teams. Use all of these resources in order to prepare. Fully engage in the selection process and be enthusiastic. Don't be the grey person. Do not give up. It is only human to make mistakes, but we want to see your resilience by maintaining focus and driving onwards. And finally, demonstrate your true potential. Don't waste this opportunity. Good luck.